I want to open up the postseason statements by sending my condolences to the Williams family. Tiara Williams isn't here because her grandma passed a few days ago. She actually took a car and is on her way to the airport for the funeral tomorrow. So that's why she isn't here in the post-game conference. And so I commend her for her efforts tonight, and I send my condolences out to her and her family. This was a game of runs. It was a game where we played really, really good basketball in the first half, and I thought we had a letdown after halftime. It's always tricky when you go into halftime with a big lead, because you want to come out with some intensity and focus and get that first 5 minutes under your belt. And I thought we were tentative and Grambling got us back on our heels. And we struggled up until the last maybe 8 minutes of the second half, when we really picked up our intensity. We matched Grambling's intensity and were able to make some big plays at big moments. And this young lady sitting next to me, Brianna Sidney, she made some of those big plays, and a couple big shots and defensive possessions, and then you go back to you win by 12. And so it was a good game for us. It was Grambling is a very good team. They're well coached, and we're very fortunate. We feel very fortunate to come away with a win.
Coach, you felt down the stretch when you had a couple possessions that you maybe rushing the shots early with a lot of shot clock left?
Yeah, when you're being pressured, sometimes you get into a habit of rushing your shot and rushing your offense. And there was a point there, maybe a 5-minute stretch, we never got into an offense. So what we did was we tried to, go with our quick hitters to where we can get people in place at the correct moment and then attack that way. That worked so-so. What we did was we just got people in strategic positions, and that actually worked the best. So once we got in the half court, we got, Bree Sidney on the wing. That's her spot. We got Tiara at the free throw line. That's her spot. And so we were able to get people the ball in important places on the court to where they could make a play. And then that's what happened.
Coach, I saw in the first half, it looks like you pushed up on the three-point line to take away something from Miller. I think going into the second half, she was more effective. Did a strategy change for going into the second half, or?
No, the strategy didn't change. We were focused in the first half and really focused on not giving up the three-point shot, and I thought we lost that focus in the second half. Whether we were playing zone or whether we were playing man, we didn't want to give Grambling both the shot, the penetration, and the possibility of going to the line. We were willing to give up penetration, especially by post players. We didn't feel like that could beat us. We felt like 23, Miller could beat us. And she hit some big shots. It was just us missing some defensive assignments. And behind my back, Bree Sidney said, "Move over, Gianni, I'll take 23. And she did, and limited her touches and stayed in front of her and made her life a little more difficult.
Coach, you seemed pretty excited when Brianna hit a 3 earlier in the game. Did you kind of think that was kind of going to get you guys going? Is that why you were maybe a little more animated about that when she came back to the bench?
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm always excited when I see players step up to the plate. And she hit 2 3-pointers in the second half and a big 3-pointer in the first half. That really helped us go on a run. So between her taking off on our fast break and leading our fast break and hitting the half-court shot and the half-court 3-pointers, and then really anchoring our defensive effort, I thought she just played she played like a sophomore or junior tonight. And I told her, forget the freshman. You're not a freshman anymore. This is March. Your season your regular season is over with. It's time for a whole new season. So she really, I called her Brooklyn. I was like, that's what I'm talking about, Brooklyn. I tried to have the accent. I don't really have it, but hey, I faked it. It was just good to see her step up to the plate and be who she is, who she can be night in and night out. And we know this is her first year, but we're expecting a lot from her, and we expect a lot from her.
hit some very big shots, 3-pointers, I guess. Sydney, I apologize. Going down the stretch there. Were you just confident at the time that you were going to be able to knock those down, or were you going with the flow of the game at that time?
I was really confident from when we was warming up. I was hitting my shots, so I already knew that since I had the
Rhythm.
Thank you.
That's what us coaches are for.
I had the rhythm, so I already knew that since I had the rhythm, it would have went in if I shot it.
You know, I thought one thing about Bree Sidney's game today is that she really played within herself. She didn't get out of it. She got out of sync a little bit in the second half when they were pressing us, and she traveled a couple of times, just really kind of got out of what she was doing, got out of rhythm. But then when she settled down, and one of the things we preached in the timeout was just settle down, let's play our game. We don't pass the ball diagonally full court. We attack the press differently. Once we did that, Brianna was able to come back and really get back into her rhythm. And I try to tell players all the time, and we talk about this all the time, if you want to work off your nervous energy, pick up your intensity and get out there and shoot your shots and play your game. That's the easiest way to work through that nervousness.
At the beginning of the season, would you have ever thought that your freshmen, Williams and Sidney, would be pretty much the catalyst and backbone of this team, especially coming into the postseason and knocking down shots and playing the way they did tonight?
Well, I thought that I didn't think our freshmen would lead us the way they're leading us. I knew we had the potential to. If you remember, early on in the season, Bree Sidney didn't even play. She didn't play much, and she'll smile on that one. And I fussed at her quite a bit.
She actually did have some big games, though.
Well, she had some big games later on. If you look, I'm talking about preseason more than anything. She really didn't play much. But as the year progressed, I think she started to believe that she could actually not only play on this level, but actually be effective on this level. And then her confidence grew. And she started to play like the player I saw play during AAU basketball. And then the rest is Bree Sidney maturing throughout the year. She was a little inconsistent, but she's always been the one to step up and make big plays.
How much of a problem was Miller down the stretch? I mean, she's the conference leading scorer. I mean, it's evident that you're going to put two bodies on her, but it seems some way, somehow, she kind of breaks the double team, and when she's drawing three defenders, she's dishing it off. But how much of a problem is she, especially in the second half?
Yeah, Joanne is she's a bear to defend. She is a really tough player to defend, and the major reason why is because she has so many tools and talents to work with. She can knock down a three, which makes you play a corner. She can penetrate to the basket, which makes you, sometimes foul her. And then she's crafty around the basket. So when she draws the defense, she can get the ball to the open three-point shooters. When she draws the defense, she can duck under and both get a foul and finish around the basket. So she's really tough to defend. And what we tried to do was limit her touches, first and foremost. And then secondly, make her work for every touch. Then once she got the ball, we wanted help and we wanted rotation. And I thought we got that late in the second half.
So Williams is going back for the funeral tomorrow?
She left. She's
today.
on
She
her way
left
to the
tonight.
airport right now.
And
The funeral is tomorrow.
So will she be back for enough time for Friday?
We're hoping, we don't know how her mental state is going to be Friday, but we expect her back for the game Friday.
Brianna, what's it like being a freshman, coming in and hitting those shots down the stretch and pairing up with a fellow classmate and pretty much being the point getters for this squad?
Like Coach said, I really don't feel like I'm a freshman anymore. I actually feel like I'm older because I'm kind of used to it now.
And what it is, let me define it. It is me yelling. Yeah. I thought early on she struggled with that. She struggled with me expecting the most out of her every single practice and every single game. She wasn't used to giving that type of effort consistently. And now she's used to it. My baby growing up.
What was it like when you watched that lead dwindle? Had a big lead at half. What were you telling them in the huddle during the timeout?
Well, the biggest thing I was telling them, we were trying to correct mistakes, but then we just stopped them and was like, listen, just play with poise. You know, do the things that got us the lead in the first place. The things that got us the lead was defending. We got some stops. We ended every defensive possession with a rebound, and then we were able to get out on our fast break. So then when we did that, they weren't able to press us as much in the first half because we were getting rebounds and getting out. The difference was in the second half, we went through a period where they scored maybe 10 to 12 points in a row, and then got into their press. So we, in turn, never got into our half-court offense. We started rushing. So when the league dwindled down, listen, I wasn't extremely nervous. I just figured, hey, this is a cat fight. So whether we were up by 20 or whether we were up by 5, at this point, we have to live in the moment. Right now, it's a one-point game. Let's go. And this is what we have to do in order to go from this point on. I rarely live in the past. Oh, we lost a big lead. No, that's not what we're focusing on. What we're focusing on is that we still have the lead, and this is what we have to do to grow and get back to really just come away with the win.
You're really pretty much aggressive with that press in that second half. At one point, you feel like they will burn out, that you could outlast them?
I felt like if we continued to attack the press, we would get good shots. When we attacked the press and finished around the basket, that's when we got our lead back. We kind of took the air out of their sails when all of their aggressiveness, when we attacked that aggressiveness and then finished around the basket. Especially when we got into the half court and showed poise. When we got the ball in the half court and then ran an offense, and scored, we got a couple 3-point plays. That was big for us because it stopped their momentum and it showed us what to do against their pressure.
Any more questions for the coach or player? Thanks, Coach.
Deuces!